Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on a Marvel Strike Force. I'm just like looking at my camera. I'm like, is it in the right area? Okay, my setup is kind of weird. Anyways, happy what day is it? Today is, oh my god, today is a Wednesday. And we have a few things to talk about. There's a couple of new data mines. Now, if you guys caught my video from yesterday, I'm losing track of the time zones are really weird for me. And we're here to talk about Pocket Dimension Omega again because we have some data mines for next week's event. I also want to talk about Overpower again because I don't want to lose this. You know, I think that it's really important that amidst all the things that are going on right now in the game that we still remember that Overpower is a thing and not let Scopely off the hook. So I do want to kind of talk about that again because we need to kind of review the data because, you know, they're not going to do anything until apparently they have more data on that. And we need to talk about potential reworks, apparently, because they did reveal in the envoys revealed in videos yesterday that the next legendary character is going to be Quasar. And apparently there were some hints at some potential reworks. So if you're ready to go, everybody, let's boil this down. Where's my intro button? So before we go anywhere, I do want to, let's go into full screen mode actually. So let's talk about a few Reddit posts that I came across over the last, I don't know, 12 hours or so. The genuine best thing about Overpowered is that it's gotten me to play less and not be on my phone as much. No point if Overpower absolutely obliterates every team build that I have. So it just seems like where I'm at a position right now where do I want to care about PvP? And, you know, when it comes to, I have a war ongoing right now. I guess I need to finish. But I'm kind of doing the same thing that I did before. But I'm caring less. I kind of already didn't care in PvP already, but now I'm caring less. Because, you know, I win or I lose. And I don't know if this is a good thing or not, but I think that I'm considering, unless these characters have PvE value, I may just skip them. So we know that for the Xavier Saga, right, that apparently Liberty in full is better than having like Old Man Logan and Jean Grey or something like that, that you could legitimately do 5 Liberty and do well and clear it. So that, that might give me an excuse to use BioGear on Patriot, but I have had to now go back and kind of level my Liberty up because not all of them were leveled up. I had Patriot was super low, so I took him up to 100. I'm going to get him to 105 later, and then I need to get Peggy Carter and Cap Sam to 105 for the Xavier Saga. So that's an example of building a PvP team for a PvE event. But I mean, if they're not for that, then I really don't want to do it, right? Like I did Starjammers because apparently that is also key for the Xavier Saga too. But I mean, for any PvP teams coming down the line, if they're not for a trial or some PvE restriction, I probably won't bite. And I haven't really gone out of my way to like 105, you know, astral characters for war. Some of the, you know, Mighty Avengers, they're still at 100. And so there's a lot of other characters that are just going to sit at 100 gear 19. I'm not going to like go to 105 because I just don't care enough about the rewards, because Alliance War and Cosmic Crucible have not had an update on their rewards that are meaningful enough to justify the, you know, the ROI or the return of investment on these PvP characters, in my opinion. So again, Overpower's kind of killed my desire to want to care about PvP even more than I already did. Scopely, please do not think that we forgot about how horrible OP is, and the current issues with the Professor X saga cannot overshadow how bad the Overpower system is. So let's just read this a little bit. I know the current Hair on Fire situation is how poor the saga seems to be, but let's not forget the bigger issue. Overpower is literally ruining the only part of this game that was working: Crucible and War. This game is 90% PvP, guys. You know, I understand that. Even though I don't like PvP that much, I understand that's pretty much the case, because if you were to scrape Cosmic Crucible and Alliance War out, you wouldn't have much of a game left to play. Like manual or auto, I suppose, you know, because I'm just logging in, I'm doing my raid sims, you know, I'm buying stuff in the store, and like that's my daily gameplay. It's kind of sad if there isn't a special event going. We already saw them going back on things they said in live stream last week, so they should have no problems revisiting this progression system. I don't know if they said, did they actually call it a progression system? Because it fucking isn't, right? It's not a progression system. It's like a bonus reward for you upgrading your characters, but I wouldn't call it a progression system in this sense. Anyways, it is kind of crazy. I know that it's early in Gear Tier 20, which makes it look crazy, and maybe at some point it's going to level out. But I do want to remind people that we are in Tier 1 of Overpower, and they're going to bring out Tier 2 and Tier 3, which is going to have who knows what, right? Like, who the fuck knows what kind of crazy bonuses they're going to give for that. And I also want to reiterate that they do have plans to bring this into PvE, which I think will put a nail in the coffin once they do, because that means that you're going to have to max out your PvE characters to stand a chance. Otherwise, the enemies are going to overpower you. So long gone are the days of kind of min-maxing, you know, your characters to be able to get through events, right? You know, there's been a lot of videos about how high do I need to take my raid characters? How high do I need to take my event characters? Well, you know, that's going to be gone once PvE gets overpowered. So I just want to remind people about that one. Now, let's jump to so let's take a look at this. And we have the, nope, not that was in Countdown to Cataclysm, so we already know about this. This is coming. We talked about this the other day. But, no, you know what? Fuck. Okay, so we are here in the data mine section that I wanted to share with you guys regarding the Fallen Dimension Omega stuff. Now, we already talked about this the other day, but there's some new stuff here with next week's event. Oh, sorry. Next week's event, Monkey Business. We also have Battle Pass. Actually, sorry, scroll up again. We have Battle Pass Season 45, which is going to be Havoc Shards and Dark Promotion credits. That's RT. I mean, that's pretty normal, I guess. It's an RTA pass, not a strike pass, so keep that in mind. And then Monkey Business here. This is going to be the final event for the month of April. Earn X coins and Crimson Biogear. Now, it doesn't specifically call out a leaderboard, but this is the same. We're due for a leaderboard. This is also the same text line that basically they had for the actual leaderboard last week. So I do believe that this is the case for Crimson Biogear. So I think it's going to be a bio leaderboard for G20 gear. Get ready for the Monkey Business milestone. Gain progress in this event by using Vigilante, the Vigilante team in raids, earning the professional primate orb fragments from the Fallen Dimension Omega. Now, this orb sounds like it would have hit Monkey, but I don't think that it actually does. And opening Daredevil Modern Diamond Orbs. Earn fantastic rewards including X coins, the currency, Crimson Biogear, Diamond Orbs, blah, 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 right? Okay. Now it says the orb contains Liberty and Starjammer characters, which is good because they're not farmable, so that's nice. L4 training modules and Crimson gear. Now the points for this includes battling in raids with Vigilantes, raiding with Daredevil Modern, Silver Sable, and Hitmonkey at 5, 6, 7 yellow. So you know it's a leaderboard, right? Because they're giving bonus points for characters that are unfarmable, that are basically paid. And then open another of these fucking Daredevil Modern orbs. They've been using this for, it's a shitty orb too. Like they're, you know, the $15 US dollars to get points for this. But then finally here at the bottom, earn 1 professional primate orb fragment from Fallen Dimension Omega starting on Tuesday. So we have a start date, which is next Tuesday for Pocket Dimension. Now the problem is, for Fallen Dimension, the problem is that they're suggesting that the points or the fragments are only coming from the Omega version of the event. And you guys know that the Omega version is the Gear Tier 20 full Vigilantes requirement. So they didn't just say Fallen Dimension, they said Fallen Dimension Omega. So I would like to implore Scopely that if this is the case, I'm going to get this out early so that they can, you know, look at this video. Maybe other people will start complaining early on so that we can get a reversal of this, because the data mines have been basically 95% correct. So I do kind of want to let people know here that this is a potentially really big problem if they go ahead with this, because obviously less than 500 players, I'm just spitballing, are going to have access to this, because you're going to need 5 Vigilantes at Gear Tier 20. That was the requirement up here. Let's scroll back up here. Required Fallen Dimension Omega. Required 5 Vigilante characters at Gear Tier 20. This event is very challenging. Now, there's also been some data mines that actually show a regular Fallen Dimension, so I am hoping that there is these fragments on the regular one as well. But the fact that the data mine points section did specifically call out Omega makes me very concerned, because if you look at the rest of the points, there's really no other way to get free-to-play points on a leaderboard. you're gonna be point capped on all of this, right? The battle and raids with Vigilante. There's no way there's not gonna be a point cap. So when you look at how free to play players are gonna get points, there really is nothing. There's nothing that kind of separates it. There's no energy spending. For some reason, I'm surprised a little bit that there's no energy spending portion of this to get any additional points, unless, in the off chance that it is subject to change here on the data mines, but they've been largely pretty correct. So I would say that this is pretty accurate, and we'll see how things go. We won't know until Friday, of course, when the blog hits, I guess, when they'll actually show this, and we'll have some more point details about the events. But it looks kind of sketchy so far, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. Let's just jump back to the game, though, because I do want to talk. Oh, I gotta zoom out again. Sorry, my bad. We got to talk about some of the rumors, I guess, regarding the next team, about Quasar, right? So the next legendary character is going to be Quasar. Now, I looked him. I know a little bit about him, but from recent history, like I'm talking like comics in the last 5 years that I've seen around, he has had some association with the Guardians of the Galaxy. The Guardians have had a larger roster, when it comes to other characters. Namely, there's like Moondragon and Phyla-Vell and things like this. And that's what I want to talk about. So Phyla-Vell was rumored that they might get a rework. I'm just going to put it here. I don't have any 100% confirmation about this. But you're probably looking at a cosmic-based team, right? It's going to be like some sort of... I'm going to say it's probably a cosmic hero team that I would assume that's going along with Quasar. And Phyla-Vell, so there's two Phyla-Vells. There's actually this Phyla-Vell, but there's also another Phyla-Vell who was more associated with Quasar, I think. So I don't know if it's a new version, new character. I think she also went by the name of Martyr. So I don't know if it's going to be this one or the other one, what they're going to do. But this could be a good possibility. Actually, she had a really great kit when she was on Infinity Watch. So that would be super amazing. I actually really liked Phyla-Vell when she came out with Infinity Watch, so I would not be mad about this at all. Also, keep in mind, actually, well, maybe not. Maybe it's too early. I was going to say, because come June, we do have Pride Month, and I was thinking that maybe that they... Oh, there's my vacuum. I'm going to have to... No, the daily vacuum. Hold on. Okay, so now I know not to start recording my video or have my recording through 11 o'clock, because that's when the robot vacuum starts running. I need to be more conscious about my times and stuff like that. But anyways... So if this team if this team has two reworks, probably from the Cosmic Hero section, I'm just going to assume. Let's take a look at the Cosmic roster anyways. And it seems lately they've been taking characters from, I wouldn't say bottom of the barrel, but pretty close, right? We've had reworks to Elektra, we've had reworks to Punisher, we've had reworks to a few other characters, honestly, over the last couple of months that I would say were bottom of the barrel as well. So if I had to guess, now this is just for me because some of you have been following me for a while know that I skipped I skipped nowhere, and so that's why my Korg, Star-Lord, and Thor Infinity War are at level 1. So I don't know if these are characters that would necessarily be reworked. It hasn't been that long since they've come out, but it's not beyond the possibility. I would say it would be more likely for probably Star-Lord Annihilation more than any of them, just from what I understand. But as far as some of the other characters go, especially if we look from the hero section, because of Quasar's connection to the Guardians, I would not be shocked if there was a rework to like Drax or Mantis. Like if there was a new Phyla-Vell coming, I would not be surprised if they would do the duo of Mantis and Drax, because that's something that has been avoided for some time. So that would be kind of my guess on the docket, because they also, I guess they gave this skin like a Christmas skin a while ago, but Mantis has just been like super neglected for an extremely long time. As far as the other characters go, like they're Inhumans, I don't really see anything that pops out. My Cosmo was 75, but realistically, like bottom of the barrel cosmic heroes, unless it's Star-Lord, like actual Star-Lord, that could be a possibility there in the team as well, because they are known to also rework legendary characters. That has happened, of course, recently. But those are the only characters. Again, they're kind of Guardian-ish based characters, and that's kind of what I would expect for this upcoming team, as far as what characters that they would use on this team for reworks. And now we're getting pretty high up, so while it is possible, because obviously Phyla-Vell OG could still be there as well, but those are kind of the only types. I think this is it. Like, I don't think they're going to rework Nova. They haven't proven to rework any Horseman characters or Horseman legendaries or Trial legendaries at this point, so I think that would be my choice for reworks, would be Phyla-Vell, Star-Lord, Drax, and Mantis. That's my guess here. We'll find out pretty soon, because once Hitmonkey comes out next week, there basically isn't any more characters left over in terms of we're going to need to know the new team pretty soon. Anyways, that's going to be the end of this video, everyone. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below, especially with regards to next week's event, possibly requiring Fallen Dimension Omega. I think that would be absolutely insane, and there would be a huge amount of backlash if this event came out and you could only get points through doing not the regular Fallen Dimension, but the Fallen Dimension Omega. Also, we don't know, and it hasn't been confirmed whether or not there will officially be 2 of them, or they replace the original one with Omega. I hope we get more info soon. I hope the info on Friday is good, because we really need to know this. And I know that the data mines are subject to change, but it's a bit alarming when I see some of these things a bit earlier on, because, you know, they have been pretty right. So we'll see what ends up happening. That's it for me for just now, guys, everyone, and I'll see you guys on the next video. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.